Hey there, everybody. Welcome to what is the latest Big Brother 22 progress report. I feel like we're all kind of on this really, really long road, and we're all sort of in the back seat screaming, "Are we there yet?" Even though we don't actually know if we're ever going to get there.
Yeah, and we've seen your guys' comments in the YouTube comments asking us if we have any information about it. So we just wanted to kind of share a little bit of just what's going on and what we think is going on, because some interesting news has come out today.
And we'll talk about how it relates to Big Brother, because I think despite it seeming on the surface like they're two very separate things, I sort of feel like any event that happens in 2020 kind of gets the ball rolling towards
Yep.
everything else. Before we get into it, though, if you guys do like this video, give us a like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss any other updates we've got coming up. So, all of this begins with the NBA, and I'm not just talking about the NBA because I want to celebrate the Toronto Raptors. Still the reigning champions, thank you very much.
Okay.
Alright, no, but alright, so this is the thing. The NBA has pretty much formalized a lot of decisions over the past 2 days to start the season in late July, and what they're doing is they're going to Orlando. 22 out of the 30 teams are going. Pretty much anyone who's potentially even has a sliver of a chance of making the playoffs. But they're going to have sort of makeshift training camps that are starting in early July. And yeah, I could go down a basketball rabbit hole here. But the point is that ultimately what this symbolizes is the beginnings of some events taking place. And the NBA, I think we can both agree, is a much more elaborate production than a season of Big Brother.
Yeah, because there's so many people that are involved in the NBA sort of opening back up its doors. We're talking hundreds of people. And I mean, with Big Brother, yes, you have a smaller group of people in the house. And yeah, you probably got 100 or 150 people behind the scenes. The NBA on scale is at least double that, if not more, of who's got all the teams that are going to be playing, the coaches, the families, everybody that's going to be part of this. So if they're able to actually start looking towards opening up, then we're starting to think that maybe Big Brother is going to be able to start opening up.
For now, I am feeling overall more optimistic that we're going to have a season 22 than probably at any other point since we got to maybe about a few weeks into this crisis. Maybe even since Big Brother Canada ended up stopping early. I feel optimistic. I still do want to say safety is most important, and if Big Brother can't feel like they can do it safely, don't do it at all. It's just not worth it. Yeah, we can all be patient. It sucks, but we can all be patient. But I do think the NBA getting things together, it represents a door being opened a little bit, because it's sort of one of those things where you see one group of people do something and it sort of allows everyone else to start thinking about it. It's sort of like you're all at a party, and it's not a very good party, but some people are thinking about leaving, but you don't want to be the first person to leave, and after the first person leaves, you all are like, oh, okay, maybe it's okay for us to leave now too.
Yeah, and with it being the NBA specifically, we're talking about a sport that it's not full contact, but you are close to people and you're sweating and breathing on people. So, I mean, this is not the same sort of thing. It feels to me that Big Brother would be a much safer version of this. There's going to be less people, less contact. Yeah, of course, it would have to redo some of the things. So, yeah, we've had some challenges, of course, with people running into each other and all kinds of stuff like that. You can change some of the challenges to make it so that there's a little bit less contact. Of course, everyone would be tested before they go into the house. We could do something that maybe the people who are the crew members, which are really the people that we would be the most worried about, because they're going to be coming in and setting up the challenges, or coming in and bringing in the food, or of course dealing with all the editing and putting everything together. Is it possible that some of these things can be done remotely from home? Some of these things can be a smaller skeleton crew. We know, because we've been to CBS's lot, that there are different little like cottages, little houses, if you needed to be able to stay there. Could you have the crew tested and stay there during the time? So that way, if of course they're going to have to leave, that it's a little more controlled, and that way everybody's really safe.
That's where I think Big Brother can actually take a page from the NBA a little bit, because what they're doing in Orlando is they are basically going to be putting up a lot of players all around Disney World, and it's not a bubble so much where you're not allowed to leave, but it's a situation where you're pretty much strongly encouraged not to leave to the best of your ability, because it's just going to make everyone safer. And overall, there's going to have to be, I think, a lot of boxes that need to be checked off along the way here. The biggest one is, I do feel pretty firmly that if Big Brother was located in Florida, it would probably have a much easier time starting up than it does in California, because different states have different regulations and there's different things going on. And I always do think you have to err on the side of caution, but that's sort of the first thing we have to look at in this situation.
Yeah, I mean, it is very different out here in California than it is in Florida. And then it's also the same you are now, because it's a cast that's from all over the states. You have to also think about that, because you are bringing in people from different states to play. So it's really about, is there enough testing? Is there a way to make it safe to bring people in? And who is this cast gonna be? So like, where are they coming from?
So what we know about the cast, because this is probably number 2 on the checklist. You got to make sure you can't do Big Brother without a cast, obviously.
Absolutely.
You need to know where these people are coming from. You need to be able to bring them here, probably safely, isolate them safely, take them through their own period of just sort of being away from the outside world. Now, it seems as though, based on Robin Cass's Twitter, that we are in a situation where the semifinalists have been contacted, so things are moving forward here, and hopefully that will sort of be a signal to getting to the next phase of things. It doesn't mean that it's happening. I don't want anyone to think Robin Cass posting this means for sure we're getting a Big Brother, but she's just trying to do her job of, okay, I got to set up all these people so that I can get approval from CBS, we can go to the next stage of it, so that if there is a season, we're not slowed down because of me.
Yeah, I feel that the show just wants to be ready to go. That as soon as CBS presses that big green button and is like, okay, we're ready to go, Robin can be like, here's everybody. This is who we're going with. Okay, cool. Get them in the house. Like, they want to be at the start line, because it does feel like things are starting with what's happening with the NBA to kind of maybe give everybody that moment to be like, okay, maybe we're going to get started on other productions and other things that are going to be going on sort of in that entertainment world.
Before we move on from the cast part of things, there's a couple of things I want to emphasize here, because I debated a lot in my head over these past few days that should this just be an all-star season, because we're coming off Winners at War for Survivor, which I think we both loved immensely.
That was a lot of fun.
It was so much fun. We had a great time talking about it, and I think you can kind of build on that momentum. But beyond all that, you could bring in a group of people who CBS already knows, CBS is already familiar with, and this is sort of separate from what's going on health-wise. But with everything that has been happening this past week, it will be horrific beyond measure if they put someone new in this house that they have not vetted, that they have not prepared for, and is going to say something that is derogatory or offensive and spark things further at a time when there has been so much tragedy and pain among people, that I really hope that they are taking a serious look at these people if they are bringing in new people into this season. We cannot have a repeat of any of the offensive garbage that we had in season 21.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, this show has had more than just what was going on in season 21.
That's true.
We have had this happen in the house before and multiple times, and we're all over it now.
Yes.
Like, it's enough. And I understand that when you're going through the process, the vetting process to get to know people and figure out who's who to bring into the house, everybody's on their best behavior, and it's difficult to really find that out. Yeah, you can go through people's Twitters and social medias, and you should. They should go through all of it, looking for stuff. And that way, if there is something, at least you can deal with it then. But it's the people that are hiding it, but then it comes out just naturally because you're watching somebody 24/7. That's where it gets a little bit harder to vet. And because we're in a situation right now where everybody's at home or, just starting to get out of being through all this, there's time for the producers to kind of get a little bit closer to these semifinalists and really kind of make those bonds so that you can feel out if they're really like this or not.
Yes.
Get past that initial nervousness of, man, I just want to be on the show, so I'm going to say everything right. That's part of the job, to kind of build that trust with them. You should have that trust with them, and they should have that trust with you. But if you do, then you might, if you are one of these people who's going to come on the show and ruin it for everybody, that you will then be caught before you're on the show. It will come out naturally.
I hope they take a lot more time with this, and I know this from doing the casting process for Beauty and the Geek. The producers, they want to act like they're your friends, even if they're not your friends. They want to act like they are, and I think make these people feel comfortable so that you know really who they are, because ultimately we have all gone through it in 2020, and I think what made Winners at War so great is we were coming off a controversial season of Survivor, and it was just a chance for people to engage and enjoy something that was about the game. And I want Big Brother to be about the game. I don't want it to be about anything offensive. I don't want it to be about prejudices. I don't want it to be about people being afraid that their health is going to be jeopardized. And that's why, the other sort of order of business here is you need to have a very comprehensive plan so that with this cast and also the crew, kind of every step of the way, how are you going to take care of bringing in the food? How are you going to take care of challenge production? How are you going to take care of people needing to come into the house for emergencies? All of that needs to be mapped out so that people don't worry about it the whole time they're trying to actually get this thing done.
Yeah, I would actually like to just see a season where people don't have to worry and that they can just go into the game and they don't have to worry about prejudice or any of this other stuff. They don't have to worry about the health crisis that's going on or any of that. They can actually just go in and play, and none of that is a problem. And that's why, we've talked about this a bit, about that idea of Winners at War, where we already know this cast and we know them coming in and we know what we're going to get with them. So the idea of an All-Stars, it's tempting right now because you can bring in people that we know what we're going to get and we know how it's going to be, and they all know how it's going to be.
The only thing I'll say is watch us have some sort of returning player season and it ends up being people who are just really not good to be in this house right now. If you get my come on, don't KCBS, just get your head on straight. But
please.
Yeah, all right. So the other thing, let's get into again the crew discussion, because you brought this up earlier and I think it's a good idea of let's try to find places either at the studio or close to the studio so that you can house crew members, and then just scale back on some challenges here and there. That's okay. We don't need to see a giant rotating thing where people are getting hit in the face with something that looks like, I don't know, a scroll.
No, and I totally, the same thing. Even like that ballerina challenge I really like. You wouldn't be able to do something like that because everybody's going to be gripping the same thing and whoever's bringing it in the same thing. Instead, maybe get 6 of them so each person that's competing has their own thing and it can easily be sort of it's just you that's touching it.
Yeah. And
just in case, because they're going to be tested to go into the house, but people bringing in food, you don't know. Like, so even in the house, you still have to be careful because there will still be inside and outside people coming in.
Yeah, just make things as low rent as you need to. Big Brother over the top. Some of the challenges look like they actually just went to the dollar store and picked up a couple of props and they just threw them in and was like, hey, this is a challenge, go to work. I'm okay.
I'll take it.
I'm okay with that. I don't need big production. I don't need, you don't even need a huge cast. You can do a shorter season. You can have it very, very regimented and careful. It's Big Brother, and as long as it's safe and there is a plan, we all, I think, kind of need it. I feel like we want it.
It's time. If it's safe, you can bring this. Like, I'm happy to go without OTEV for a season, or these big productions for the challenges. I am fine with that if the cast is good, because I'm here for the gameplay. That's what I want to see. So bring me that. I'll even give up the slip and slide, which I love watching people fall. It is my favorite.
I have a good idea here. I will record all the OTEV lines for you, and then you just have someone wear a sock puppet and then just move the mouth, and I will be like, hey guys, it's Saki the OTEV, and we can get it with my OTEV voice.
Oh my goodness.
Okay, so
it's actually pretty good.
Thank you. Okay, well, no, see, we have solutions. We're solutions oriented here. Now, I hope that it can happen. We'll wait and see what happens over the next little while, but I do think the NBA, while it may seem completely unrelated, I think it actually is an important stepping stone because it symbolizes things are starting to come back slowly. So let's keep our eyes and ears peeled. We will be doing it here. Hi, I'm OTEV the Sleeve. Let us know in the... Okay, I think I'm using a different voice now. Let us know in the comments. How are you feeling about the idea of Big Brother 22 right now? And do you want OTEV, the snaking arm sleeve / shock puppet? This is a bit... We've had serious discussions in this video, and yet here we are ending with this.
Nobody's watching anymore.
Well, all right. Well, if you do like this video, give us a like, subscribe, and you can support us further by checking the link in the description to the store, and we'll see you here next time.